Biologically, you know, most children begin their lives quite close to their mothers through birth.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Or like, you know, that's how you get close, or you just know that's your mom.
Right.
But some kids never make a healthy break and create their own independent identity.
Yeah.
They don't cut the cord, if you will.
If you will. To have a healthy relationship with your mom, you need boundaries.
That's what I hear. I hear this all the time, and yet when I talk to my mom about it, she's like, "You have them." I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know, Angela, you know that I created a lot of boundaries with my mom, you know, and it was really important. It was important to my mother that I grow up, but I also had to create some boundaries because sometimes, you know, she would say things or do things that I just didn't love, right? Or I felt like that goes, I want to be mother and daughter. I don't want to be friends like that. I don't want to know your personal business like that.
Right.
And I was like,
well, yeah. It does sound like when you were growing up, your mom, like, she would take you to the same films or read the same books with you at wildly age inappropriate times.
Yes.
Like, wildly.
Yes.
Like, what'd you say, Carrie, when you were like 6?
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, and my mother, I say whatever she tells me to say to her. And I think that's normal.
So we poll Frangelistas asking, do you tell your mom everything? 24% of you said yes, 76% said no.
Oh, you can't tell mom everything. Oh, no. Then how would you even go to Mardi Gras?
Right.
Well, we hit the streets to ask Frangelistas if they have good boundaries with their mothers. Take a look.
I don't have any boundaries with my parents, with my mother.
I actually don't have any boundaries with my mom. We're like best friends right now because I'm here by myself and she's far away. So we talk. She calls me like twice a day and we talk about everything.
My relationships with my parents always were wonderful. Any problem I have or anything I want to share, so there is I am for it.
Okay.
It's interesting to me that the best relationship is when you're far away.
Exactly.
I find that interesting that somebody would say that we have the best relationship really close now that I live really far away. Well, let's bring on psychotherapist and best-selling author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Think, Act, and Be Happy, Dr. Mike Dow. Hi, Dr. Mike.
Glad to be back.
Doctor, what are the warning signs that you do not have the right boundaries with your mother?
Yeah, so if you are 30 going on 13 or 40 or 50, that is a warning sign, because if you don't have any boundaries, that does not allow a child to become an adult, right? Because you don't create the space, that child never has any room, right? The other sign that I see a lot is that monster-in-law. Remember Jane Fonda versus J-Lo? You don't create any space for a significant other to get into that relationship, right? So those are two of the most problematic warning signs that I often see in these dynamics.
So you think significant others should be given, I'm writing that down. They should be given space.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens when a child wants to step back from their mother, you know, and they're like, you know what? I need some space.
Yeah. So they should be given that space, because what happens is a lot of moms who really don't want the child to run away or, you know, to have that space, they'll sort of force themselves onto that child. And, you know, listen, that'll work for a little bit, but what I see in my practice is that eventually the child will just avoid, lie, stop calling, stop texting back, and that dynamic becomes so negative, you don't want that to happen either, right? So,
do you have any examples? Like, what are some of the greatest examples you've seen of people not having those boundaries, or, you know, not exactly being independent?
Yes. Well, I've seen a lot of families just sort of blow up. I treated a very famous family who happened to allow somebody to get married who was a minor to a very older gentleman, and that turned into a really scandalous, awful situation. And then the daughter was very angry at the mother, and that daughter did not speak to the mother, and it just turned into this really awful debacle. So you know, there can be some really, you know, the mother should protect the child, but not sort of create this relationship where you're just all over the child's business. You know, you want to allow the child to spread his or her wings?
Well, here's my question. At what ages, because we're saying child, and child could be, a child could be 50 years old, a child could be 15 years old.
Yes.
At what age are we talking about that we need to start creating some separation or, having those boundaries? Do we start, gradually at a certain age? And then also, what age do you get to turn to your mother and go, this is enough?
Yeah, this is actually my personal business, which I cannot imagine saying to my mother.
Well, it should be a sort of a gradual process, right? But what we see these days, a lot of millennials are sort of adults and they still are acting like they're 12-year-old children, right?
At home.
So we really want to teach children gradually, and we have to remember one thing, that consequences shape behavior.
Right.
So we have to allow children to experience some consequences, and we have to allow life to kick them in the butt a little bit sometimes, because that is sometimes the best growing experience for children to have sometimes,
Right.
Well, you know what, Dr. Dow, we want you to stick around here for a second because we have a guest on Skype, Tammy Pickle, and we'd love for you to weigh in on what she has to say. Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
So could you describe? Oh, thank you for being here. Could you describe your relationship with your mother?
So me and my mom are super tight. She's my best friend. We work together. We own a matchmaking company, Elite Connections, together. We work together. We play together. We do everything together. We like to go to fun events together. We like to hang out with my kids together, vacation together.
Oh, that's a lot together.
You are together. Y'all together.
You're together.
But we work together every single day. So of course we're going to be together all the time. But I think it's a good, healthy relationship. I don't think it's too much. But we are together all the time.
Yeah. Well, is that an issue for your husband?
It has come up that my mom texts me all through the night, and my husband's sitting there like, who's texting you? Who's texting you? Who's texting? And I'm like, oh, it's my mom. It's my mom. It's my. And so he just kind of gets the idea. I mean, it's always been this way. We have always been thick as thieves, my mom and I. So I think he's just used to it.
My gut tells me her husband wishes that she has a little more space.
A little
space from
maybe
her
It
mom.
sounds like maybe hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a couple, 2, 3.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here, Dr. Mike.
Me Time with Frangela.